Right now, at this very moment, the United States is being ripped apart by winter from two extremes at once. On the East Coast, wind chills have dropped to -14 degrees Fahrenheit in New York City, colder than parts of Antarctica at the same hour. Over 4,000 miles away in Hawaii, rare blizzard warnings are in effect on the summits of Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa, with 10 to 16 inches of snow burying observatory roads above 11,000 feet. According to the National Weather Service, dozens of states are under winter weather alerts right now. Hundreds of flights have been canceled. Thousands of homes have lost power. Amtrak trains across the Northeast Corridor have been shut down, and this is only the beginning. In the next 12 minutes, I am going to walk you through every region being hit, city by city, with exact timing for what comes next. Not vague forecasts. Exact times. When the snow starts, when the cold peaks, when the next system moves in. Nobody else is breaking this down for you like this. But here is what you really need to worry about. A massive new storm system is already building for Valentine's Day weekend that could bring blizzard conditions to the Northeast and severe weather from Texas to the Carolinas. We will get to that. But first, the region where the cold is hitting hardest right now. Before we go any further, do me a quick favor. Drop a comment below with where you are watching from, your city, your state. Let me know what the weather is like outside your window right now. I will be checking the comments and giving updates, and it helps everyone in the community know what conditions look like across the country. Now, let us get into it. New England is buried in freezing. If you live anywhere from Boston to Portland, Maine, what you experienced this weekend was only the opening round. On Saturday, a fast-moving Clipper storm slammed the coast north of Boston with over a foot of snow. Beverly and Salisbury saw around 13 inches. Marblehead hit 12 inches. Even central Boston picked up 4 to 5 inches, enough to turn every side street into a sheet of ice on the eve of Super Bowl weekend. Logan International Airport was forced into ground stops. Hundreds of flights were delayed or canceled over a 36-hour window, and the ripple effects will stretch into the new week. Here is what nobody else is telling you about New England right now. Another Clipper system is already moving in. By Tuesday evening, moderate to heavy bursts of snow will sweep through upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine. Boston. Your evening commute on Tuesday could be disrupted by a sudden heavy band of snow, dropping visibility to under a quarter mile. Worcester. You are in the crosshairs too. Some areas in northern New England could see 6 to 8 inches from this system alone. Now here is a term you need to understand, because it could save your life. A Clipper system is a fast-moving, low-pressure area that dives down from Canada. It moves quickly, which means the snow hits hard and without much warning. The safety connection is this. Because Clippers arrive fast, road crews often cannot get ahead of the snow. If you are driving when a Clipper hits, visibility drops to almost nothing in minutes. The safest thing you can do is check the forecast before you leave, and if a Clipper is in the window, delay your travel by even 1 to 2 hours. That small decision can be the difference between a safe drive and a dangerous one. Here is the important part. Cities across Massachusetts have declared cold emergencies. Warming centers are open. Officials are warning the homeless and elderly that a short walk in this wind could be dangerous. Do not be fooled by any afternoon sun. Behind every burst of snow comes another wave of Arctic air. But New England is not the coldest story tonight. What is happening to the south is even more extreme. New York City woke up on Sunday to a level of cold that locals have not felt in nearly 2 decades. Air temperatures hovered around 3 degrees Fahrenheit. With the wind, it felt closer to -14. Officials warned that exposed skin could begin to freeze in less than an hour. That is not a figure of speech. That is a medical reality at these temperatures. Across New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania, the National Weather Service issued extreme cold alerts for higher elevations like the southern Poconos, along with winter weather advisories for refreezing on roads. Melted snow and slush from last week, as major storm turned back into sheets of ice overnight, catching drivers off guard on side streets, bridges, and on-ramps. Here is the important part. In the Great Lakes region, lake-effect snow bands kept dumping bursts of snow over Chicago and surrounding cities, cutting visibility to almost nothing at times. Prolonged cold has also hammered the rail network. In the Northeast Corridor, multiple Amtrak and high-speed Acela trains were canceled over the last 2 days, leaving thousands of passengers stranded as tracks and equipment struggled in the deep freeze. For those watching from New York, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania, the worst of the cold will gradually ease through midweek. But do not be fooled. Temperatures will remain below normal even as the central United States sees spring-like warmth. In fact, record highs were shattered today across Nebraska, western Iowa, Kansas, and the Texas Panhandle, with temperatures running 40 degrees above normal. That kind of contrast tells you everything about how unstable this pattern is. Comment below right now with your city and state. I will personally respond with the specific forecast for your location. Thousands of viewers are already doing this and getting critical information they cannot find anywhere else. Do not wait. Type your location now. But the cold in the east is only half the story. What is happening in the mountains out west right now could affect travel for millions. The same winter pattern grinding over the east is also slamming the Rockies and the high country of the northern states. In western Montana, winter weather advisories call for several inches of new snow in mountain passes, with some peaks expecting close to 10 inches. Drivers on high-elevation highways are facing slick curves, blowing snow, and sudden whiteouts, especially overnight and early Monday morning. In eastern Idaho, forecasters warn that most of the new accumulation will stack up above 6,000 feet, where gusts over 30 miles per hour can sweep snow across remote roads and mountain towns. Farther south and east, the Tetons and the ranges near Yellowstone are bracing for more. Winter storm alerts call for 6 to 12 inches of fresh snow, with even higher amounts on the tallest ridges and wind gusts that could reach 50 miles per hour on exposed peaks. For ski resorts, park workers, and anyone traveling through the region, the message is the same. Travel could range from difficult to impossible during the heaviest bands, especially late Sunday night into Monday morning. Here is the important part. Looking ahead this week, the Sierra Nevada mountains are about to get pummeled. We are talking feet of snow, not inches, and some of that energy could push into the central Rockies. Denver, listen carefully. There is a real chance of snow showers by Thursday as a system ejects out of the southwest. It is not a guaranteed blockbuster for Denver, but after a dry stretch, even a few inches would be significant. We are watching this one closely. But the most unusual winter headline right now is not coming from the Rockies or the plains. It is coming from a place most people associate with beaches and warm ocean breezes. What is happening in Hawaii right now is something forecasters rarely see. This is the forecast that demands the most attention right now. Hawaii is under a statewide emergency declaration through Tuesday, and what is happening on those islands is something the National Weather Service rarely has to warn about. On the Big Island, access roads to the summits of Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa are closed under a rare blizzard warning. Temperatures have dropped below freezing, above 11,000 feet. Blowing snow is covering observatory roads with 10 to 16 inches of accumulation. Gusts near 50 miles per hour are creating whiteout conditions on volcanic peaks that most people picture covered in sunshine. This is not hype. This is not exaggeration. This is a legitimate historic weather event for the state of Hawaii. Now, here is a weather term that explains why this is so dangerous. A blizzard warning does not just mean heavy snow. It means sustained winds or frequent gusts of 35 miles per hour or more, combined with falling or blowing snow that reduces visibility to a quarter mile or less for at least 3 hours. The safety connection is critical. In blizzard conditions you cannot see, you cannot navigate, and your body loses heat dangerously fast. On a volcanic summit above 11,000 feet, there is no shelter, no cell service, and no quick rescue. If you are anywhere near these summits, do not attempt to reach them. Full stop. Remember those numbers from the top of this forecast. Minus 14-degree wind chills in New York, 13 inches of snow north of Boston. Now consider this. The same winter pattern responsible for all of that is simultaneously producing blizzard conditions on tropical volcanoes and hurricane-force rain bands across the lower Hawaiian Islands. The same storm is hammering Oahu, the Big Island, and Maui with heavy rain and wind, cutting power to thousands of customers and triggering landslides on key routes like the Hana Highway. For residents and tourists on the islands, here is what to expect. Rain comes in waves, power flickers and goes out. Roads that were passable an hour ago are suddenly blocked by mud and debris. Wind gusts rattle windows and snap tree limbs. This is the reality for hundreds of thousands of people across Hawaii right now. If you are in Hawaii or have family there, comment your location below. I am reading every single comment and responding with specific information for your area. Hundreds of people have already done this. Do not wait. Here is the important part. The statewide emergency declaration tells you how seriously officials are taking this strange mix of mountain snow, flooding rain, and damaging wind. For the millions of people across the affected regions, the question is not whether conditions will be difficult. It is how difficult and for how long. Looking ahead, the weather pattern across the United States is about to get even more volatile. Through Tuesday and Wednesday, expect the cold to gradually loosen its grip on the east, while another clipper brushes the Great Lakes and New England with additional snow. Mountain snow continues in the Rockies. Hawaii faces continued high winds, flooding rain, and summit snow. But here is what nobody else is telling you yet. A major storm system is already taking shape for Valentine's Day weekend, and the models are showing something that should concern millions of Americans. By Friday, February 13th, a closed low-pressure system develops over the southwest and begins tracking east through Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas. By Saturday evening, this system strengthens across Arkansas with a cold front extending south through Louisiana and the Gulf Coast. Here is the important part. The warm side of this storm could fire up severe weather. We are talking thunderstorms, large hail, and possibly tornadoes along the Interstate 35 and Interstate 10 corridors from Texas to the Gulf Coast on Saturday, spreading into Georgia, Florida, and the Carolinas by Sunday night. Now here is the term that matters for the millions on the cold side of this system. A nor'easter is a storm that intensifies as it moves up the east coast, with winds blowing from the northeast. The European weather model is already showing signals for a potential blizzard strength. Nor'easter impacting the northeast and mid-Atlantic by late Sunday into Monday. The safety connection is this. Nor'easters can drop 1 to 2 feet of snow in 12 to 18 hours while producing coastal flooding and wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. If you are in the northeast, the time to prepare is now, not when the snow starts falling. Stock up on essentials, charge your devices, and have a plan for power outages. I will have a full breakdown of this system as the models sharpen. Make sure you do not miss it. The long-range pattern through the second half of February calls for a trough anchored in the west, bringing cooler air and active storm tracks onshore, with clashing air masses, creating the potential for bigger systems from the Rockies to the Great Lakes and Northeast in Week 3. Another potentially dynamic storm could develop from Colorado to Minnesota and Wisconsin in the final week of February. This winter is far from finished. With these forecasts in mind, here is what you need to know to stay safe and keep moving. This is not just a snowstorm or a cold snap. We are looking at simultaneous blizzard conditions in Hawaii, Arctic wind chills across the eastern seaboard, whiteout conditions in the Rockies, and a rail network still crippled from the last storm. 4 crises playing out at once across the country. Here is the important part. If you must fly out of Logan, JFK, or Newark this week, build in extra time. Airlines are still rebooking passengers from the weekend cancellations, and any new snow band could trigger fresh delays. If you are driving through the mountain passes in Montana, Idaho, or Wyoming, check conditions before you leave and carry chains. In Hawaii, avoid the Hana Highway and any roads near active landslide zones until officials give the all-clear. Prepare now, not tomorrow morning. Now. If another major system is really coming for Valentine's Day weekend, stores will be packed by Thursday. Gas stations will have lines. Do it now while you still can. For those in cold emergency zones across New England and the Mid-Atlantic, check on elderly neighbors. Make sure heating systems are working. Keep phones charged. Know where your nearest warming center is located. You have been warned. You have the timeline. The decisions you make in the next 48 hours could make all the difference. Across the country, recovery from this weekend as extreme weather is the main job right now. In New England, crews are salting roads, clearing sidewalks, and checking on vulnerable residents while cold emergencies stay in place. Rail technicians in the Northeast Corridor are thawing frozen switches so Amtrak and Acela trains can run again. In the Rockies, highway teams in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming are keeping mountain passes open with plows and chain controls. In Hawaii, utility crews are racing to restore power and watching for new landslides between rounds of heavy rain. Just days ago, a massive storm dumped more than a foot of snow along a 1,300-mile stretch from Arkansas to New England. That system was blamed for dozens of deaths and hundreds of thousands of power outages. More than 17,000 flights were canceled during the worst of it. Many power lines, tracks, and roads are still weakened, which makes every new burst of snow or cold more dangerous than the forecast maps alone suggest. Here is one more term you should understand heading into this active stretch. Wind chill is not just a number on a screen, it measures how fast your body loses heat when wind combines with cold air. At a wind chill of -14 degrees, like what New York experienced, exposed skin can develop frostbite in under 30 minutes. The safety solution is layering. Cover every inch of exposed skin, wear a wind-resistant outer layer. Limit time outdoors to 15 minutes or less when wind chills drop below -10. These are not suggestions. At these temperatures, they are survival basics. Let us recap what matters most right now. New England. Buried under a foot of snow with another clipper arriving Tuesday that could drop 6 to 8 more inches. New York and the Mid-Atlantic. Wind chills to -14, with refreezing roads and a crippled rail network. The Rockies, 6 to 12 inches of new snow with 50-mile-per-hour gusts on exposed peaks. Hawaii, a statewide emergency with summit blizzards, power outages, landslides, and flooding rain. And looming over all of it, a potentially historic Valentine's Day weekend storm that could bring blizzard conditions to the Northeast and severe weather to the Gulf Coast. I will be tracking every development closely. If you want real-time updates, drop your location in the comments right now. Tell me where you are watching from. I will give you personalized forecasts as conditions develop. Hundreds of people are already doing this and getting the information they need before anyone else. Share this video with everyone you know in the affected areas. They need to see this before the next system arrives. This is not hype. This is not exaggeration. I hope everyone stays safe. I hope the Valentine's Day system underperforms. But the models are not pointing that way right now. You have the information. You have the timeline. What you do with it is up to you. Here is the important part. This winter has already shown us it can reach from frozen runways in Boston to blizzard-covered volcanoes in Hawaii in a single day. The pattern is not letting up. The best thing you can do right now is stay informed and stay one step ahead. What part of this winter worries you the most right now where you live? And what are you doing to prepare for the next few days? Tell us in the comments.